Hey Fiends! So it's been quite a while since I last put up a video, and a lot has happened since then. I've changed my hair, I've been to a couple of weddings, I've done a lot of exercise, I've binge watched the entirety of Star Trek. Like all of it, every episode there's ever been. And oh yeah, the world is going completely crazy, we are in lockdown, and there is a worldwide epidemic going on, which is rather scary. And admittedly for me that doesn't affect me very much because I don't work. I only really go outside for social events and to go to the supermarket, and since all the social events are not happening, that just means I go out to the supermarket and it doesn't really affect me a whole much. I mean, a little bit, but not as much as other people. But I've been noticing a lot of people on social media and just around generally completely freaking out that they can't go to the gym, they're only allowed to go out for one run a day and all that sort of thing. And I thought I would try and be helpful in that sense because I do all of my exercise at home in my room, with the exception of walking to places. And yeah, I can't afford to go to a gym, and I don't like exercising in front of other people unless it's like walking somewhere or dancing in a nightclub. So I thought I would put my very helpful exercise tips to good use for you guys. I thought I would do a quick review of some gothy alternative exercise videos that I have access to, and also share some of my tips because, I mean, you probably can't tell because I'm sitting down, but I've lost about a stone in the last 6 months. You probably can't see, but I actually got muscles going on. Muscles, me. I'm still overweight, I know, don't start, but I am losing quite a bit, and that's not really from changing my eating habits much at all. It's mainly just been doing lots of exercise. For my birthday this year I got this thing, Fitbit, and that has helped me be a little bit more motivated. But even before I had that, I was using a pedometer thing on my phone, and so, you know, if you've got a smartphone there are apps that will do that if you don't want to fork out for a snazzy pedometer watch. Or you could get a cheapy pedometer, or just they keep record in pad and paper of some of the exercise that you do. Generally speaking, as long as you're doing more, that's good. So start off with, I thought I would just give you a few tips of things that I have been doing at home in my shit tip of a room, to try and get a bit more active, and then I'll go and talk about the exercisey video-y things, and there will be linky-doos to all of the exercisey video-y things in the links. Some of them are streamable, some of them I am not sure if they're streamable or not. If they are, I will put links, but they are also available on DVD, those ones which are, this is why I have the DVDs. But anyway, yes, exercising. The majority of like cardio and stuff that I do is literally jogging on the spot while watching Netflix. Thanks to the fittest of fittest, this thing, I now know that a 45-minute episode of something on Netflix can be anything from 300 to 500 calories, which is quite a lot depending on your pace. And to give that some sort of context, I weigh about 200 pounds. I can't remember what that is in kilograms and what's it, but I'll put it on the screen if I remember to find it out. So if you weigh considerably less than me, it'll be a little bit less. If you weigh considerably more than me, yay, you'll get to burn off even more. So yeah, a lot of what I do is just put on an episode of Star Trek and jog, or even just march on the spot, pace from side to side. Just moving helps. Any sort of moving is good, generally, as long as you're not straining anything. Run like the Volga behind you. Run like Gold Cut just asked for your phone number.
silly.
The other thing I like to do is resistance strength stuff. I have these things. These are, I can't remember if they're 5 pounds or 5 kilos, but they are reasonably heavy. If you don't have little weights and you're just starting out, you can easily just lift anything that you have in your home that is heavy, be it cans of things, bottles, a particularly heavy candelabra, I don't know what you have in your house, but just lift a heavy thing. And there's lots of different lifty-doos you can do. My favourites at the moment are either dumbbell curls with that feels quite nice, side lifts, and my other favourite thing, which I will show you a clip of because you won't be able to see it at this angle if I lie down, but there's something called skull crushers, which is one, really metal sounding, and two, feels really nice on your triceps, so that's something.
Hello, this is Workout Pixie. You'll be seeing me in some of the clips just to show what these things look like when I'm doing them, and like, this is the first time anyone's seen me exercise outside of a nightclub in like 15 years or something, so you're in for a treat, I guess.
This is how you do a skull crusher. Lift and then bend at your elbows as though you're trying to crush your head, and if you do a few of these, I mean I do a lot, but you will start to feel it all the way up there. It's nice. Other things you can use for strengthening things, I have resistant bands. They're either these ones which you can tie in a thing and put around your legs or whatever, or just stretch, and these tubey ones, although I never use the handles because the handles tend to just pull themselves out, but that is another way to build strength. And you can do sit-ups and press-ups and all that sort of thing if you like, planking and squats and all of that business. And again, I tend to just, you know, start lifting things or doing poses and things while watching Netflix, or if I put my music on, then I just dance around in the room like a tit. So all of these are good ways to do more, and as I say, the vast majority of the actual cardio I do, raising my heart rate and breathing, is jogging on the spot. And occasionally, if I feel like flailing my arms around a bit, I do. Fun fact with the Fitbit, doing Gothy dancing with all the flaily arms and things, it thinks that's swimming. So that's always funny when I come back from clubbing and it says I've swum like millions of yards, and I'm like, no, I was just dancing to Sisters of Mercy. But anyway, let us go on to the actual videos. So I have 3 exercise DVDs. These are all from World Dance New York. They do have a streaming service, so I will put linky-doos to those down below. But I've had these for a few years. These all came out in the mid-2000s during that goth belly dancing craze, because yes, I was that person. So let's start off with one of the easier but gothiest ones. This is Belly Dance for Beautiful Freaks by Tempest. Tempest is hilarious. I really like her style. She's very funny, very sort of deadpan sardonic. This video is only an hour long and the actual dancing bits of it are relatively short. This is my only problem with this. Some of the things that she asks or suggests that you do in terms of certain movements, they are very good for beginners. They are not something that you would necessarily want to use if you're doing this a lot, because some of the things she says will like strain your knees a little bit, so be wary of that. That said, this I actually use as a warm-up before I go clubbing sometimes, because it has some fun little moves that are very well designed for dance floors. Like the whole shtick with this is that this is stuff that you can use clubbing. The music in it is great. It has music from Collide, Jill Tracy, Nox Arcana and Skinny Puppy, which is fun. And she has 2 sets of combinations, one more industrial and sort of pops and locks and that, and one more sort of floaty. It doesn't have much of a warm-up or cool-down, but if you're looking for something really basic just to add some more moves to your repertoire, this is fun. You'll probably not like gain massive amounts of strength or do massive amounts of cardio with this, but if you're looking to expand your repertoire of movements, or if you're just looking for some inspiration on how to add some movements to music, this is quite helpful. It does also have a couple of performances by her which are quite fun, and a little workshop about gothy performance in Bellydance, which is mildly interesting if you're into that sort of thing. So second is my favourite. This I use all the time. This is Chakra's Industrial Strength Dance Workout. This is freaking great. I love this. It's a mixture, or it's two workouts, which I tend to use together, so one after the other. One is 45 minutes and the second one is 25 minutes. The 45-minute one is a bit more stretching, opening up bits of your body, but it is also quite fast-paced. There's lots of squats, there's lots of cardio, there's lots of sort of pacing, and your heart rate will raise doing this. The second one, which is 25 minutes, is basically a string of teaching you a string of different movements and then stringing them all together. So you pace from one side to the other and you do the moves. All of the moves feel really nice to do. They feel kind of grrr and industrial and just fun. It's a mixture of all sorts of different styles of dance. There's a bit of belly dance, there's a bit of Bhangra, there's hip hop, there's Afro tribal, Bhangra. Did I say Bhangra already? I can't remember. But it's sort of combined in a way that's almost like a combination between strength training and aerobics. The music in it is great. It's a lot of more gothy industrial stuff, so Decoded, well, I'm reading the thing off the back, Decoded Feedback, Terrafact, Maduro, The Last Dance and Collide. I really like the music in this, it's fun. The 3 ladies who make up Chakra themselves are both fun and just they seem like nice people. There's a fairly substantial sort of safety information and posture bit at the start, and it also has the best cool down. The cool down in it feels lovely and stretches out all the right bits, which is very helpful. So sometimes even if I'm doing another workout, I will use the cool down from this because it targets all the bits of my body, particularly my shoulders, that need it. So I didn't shut it properly. So this is my absolute favourite. If you're going to buy just one, I would get this one. It's fun, it will move parts of your body that you might not have moved before, it targets all the bits, and it has cardio and it has strength training, so it does everything. It's just fun, and you can get it done in like an hour and a bit, hour and a half tops. So highly recommend this one, and I can hear it rattling around in the thing. I'm going to stop that. The last one of the physical ones I have is this one. This is Contemporary Belly Dance Yoga Conditioning with Ariella. Ariella is great. She is one of the best goth belly dance dancers out there. And this is much more of a teaching you dance, conditioning your body, gaining flexibility, that sort of thing. It has 2 fantastic yoga warm-ups, which you can use on their own. One is just a quick one that's like 5 minutes, and then one is 20 minutes, and that one, hurts. Even when I was doing it every day for several months, like there are still some bits that are just oof. But again, those really help your flexibility, they help build strength, they're generally pretty good. And then it has a selection of technique drills, so you're repeating one movement over and over and over to sort of put it into your muscle memory and practice, I guess. So there's 75 minutes of those drills, but the handy thing with them is they are separated out into areas of the body, and there's two sections. One is more basic, one is more advanced. So if you want to, you can just do, say, shoulders, or you can just do chest or hips. Some of the advanced ones do combine bits of your body together, but they are quite helpful, and they definitely improved my flexibility and strength. Actually, you would be surprised the amount of strength it takes to do hip lifts and go up and down. So like bending your knees while doing the hip lifts, that hurts. My thighs are like rocks right now. So that's a lot of fun. There's also some combinations, sort of choreographed bits. I've got to be honest, I have never managed to do the choreographies. Even when I was a lot fitter, I never managed to get all the way through one of the choreography things. Like they are more than, I would say that this whole DVD is more of an intermediate. It does also have a cooldown. I find the cooldown doesn't do enough for me. I need more in my shoulders because I'm very weak upper body strength, which is again why I tend to go back to this one. But as I say, the yoga warm-up in this is fantastic, and again the music in this is fantastic. You've got Wumscut, Assemblage 23, Diform, Gnosos, Lumin, Sol and Eclipse, Solace and Stella Mara, which I can't remember who they are, but I'm always there for Assemblage 23 and Wumscut. I love Wumscut. So this is great. Again, this is probably the best one for more serious stuff, and she's very, very good at reminding you to check your posture, make sure you're not straining things. I mean, these girls are pretty good at that as well, but she knows what she's talking about. And it does also have some performance stuff on there as well, which is quite fun. So if you're looking for something that is more drills and strength training and just generally longer, this is pretty good. This is probably, in terms of minutes, this is the most dense, but it doesn't have a huge amount in the way of, say, cardio stuff. So if I would say you want a complete workout of your entire body, both strength, flexibility and cardio, these two will serve you well. That's the physical ones covered. I just wanted to talk about a couple more that are available online. One of them is actually good, one of them is very silly, but I thought I'd include it anyway. There are loads and loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of workout things on the YouTubes, but I found one that is at least somewhat relevant for us darkly clad people. It is run by a lady who runs a gym event thing somewhere in America, I think California. It's usually California, isn't it? Runs this thing called Pony Sweat, and the idea is that it's a sort of retro aerobics kind of 80s dancing in your bedroom kind of feel. All of the music in it is that she uses is delightful. There is an hour-long, or maybe 50 minutes, YouTube version of her thing online. I will put a link down there. It's really fun. it is largely cardio, some stretching, some stuff that will work out muscles and whatever, but the whole thing is just so delightfully cheerful, and all of the other people that she has in her little retro aerobic studio, it's all very sort of 80s, early 90s, you know, those aerobics videos on VHS that your mum used to have that you definitely watched and tried to do at least once. I know you did, unless you're like tiny, in which case you're probably looking at me and going, what's a VHS? But anyway, it's that kind of vibe, it's those sort of movements, but all of the music is sort of 80s new wave. So for example, one section that's very sort of running based is done to I Ran by a Flock of Seagulls, because of course it is. All of the music's delightful. The lady who runs it is equally delightful. She's tiny and full of energy, and she's got a voice like Columbia from Rocky Horror, and it's just fun. Definitely one to have a look at if you want to get your cardio in there. Again, like, being sort of more 80s aerobics, there are some movements that are less familiar to me. I've only done it a couple of times, but I really like it. There are some moves that I'm not so good at, but the plus side with anything video based as opposed to an actual class, you can pause it, rewind it, you can stop and have a break, you can redo something until you get the hang of it, you can pause it and have a drink of water, you can do whatever you like, and I really like that about videos as opposed to classes.
Hello, this is Workout Pixie again. Since filming the bit about Pony Sweat, the Pony Sweat hour-long video thingy has been taken down with a copyright strike, so unfortunately that one's not there anymore, even though it was really good. There is a sort of 12-minute long clip of them doing something at some sort of nightclub thing, which I've given a go of. It definitely got my heart rate going and was pretty good, so I will leave a link to that one in the comments, and I will in the description, and I'll leave a link to the page that she runs everything from. Hopefully eventually the full workout will go back up, but I just wanted to put that out there. So sorry about that. Back to video.
So yeah, that's Pony Sweat. That was the last sort of proper workout video or thing I wanted to mention. One more thing, and this one is very silly. I will put a link. It's not on YouTube, or at least not fully on YouTube, but it is in the public domain, so it is out there. And it is called Linnea Quigley's Horror Workout. It is very silly. I'm not really sure whether it's supposed to be a proper workout or just some sort of cheapy softcore porn, because there are boobies. There is a shower sequence in the beginning for some reason. I don't know why she feels the need to shower before she does the workout, but it stars Linnea Quigley, who you may remember dancing topless on a gravestone in Return of the Living Dead. Yeah, she's that one. She's in all sorts of other delightful B-movie sci-fi 80s things. She's very horror 80s things rather. She is very much a scream queen, and the whole thing is weirdly delightful. After the shower bit, which is there for reasons, she does a really over-the-top stretching like warm-up thing, which is basically not something any normal human being can replicate, because it involves doing splits and all sorts of nonsense. And for some reason she's wearing fishnets, although she does sort of point out that she wouldn't normally wear fishnets, but you don't want to watch her when she's not wearing fishnets. So that is definitely not a bit that most people could replicate, but there are a couple of like more sort of 80s aerobic workout bits which are hilarious, and yes, I have tried them out. One is a sort of slasher 80s setup with a bunch of very 80s ladies in their pyjamas at a sleepover. For some reason this turns into a workout. I have never been to a sleepover that involved a workout. Sleepovers normally involved terrible movies, sweets, and occasionally booze. But not workouts, but hey hey. It's an exercise video, what do you expect? And there's the one final bit that is a very, very silly workout where she is trying to get some zombies into shape because, quote, they are falling apart. I don't recommend using this as an exercise video, but it is funny. And it is very on brand for me, being the horror nerd, so I thought I would just mention it because it's funny. Anyway. Hello again, this is Workout Pixie one last time. I just thought I'd add a few more tips for just getting more movement done during your day. Shut up, car. Because I forgot to leave out, I forgot to put in a few more notes that I have been using. So even if you don't have a Fitness of Bitters, do try and move a little bit for every hour that you're sat down, like I am doing right now. You can set an alarm on your phone, you can sort of get to the end of an episode or something that you were watching sitting down and get up and just move, walk around for 2 minutes. Apparently helps to negate the dangers of a sedentary lifestyle a little bit, so that's a good thing to do. One of my favourite things to do lately is, because I play a lot of video games, and my friend and I have been doing forfeits every time we die playing Halo, and I'm not very good at Halo. So crunches, squats, weights, press-ups, anything like that. Like, you know, if you're gaming and you muck up, do 10 reps. If you're and you can use that for any number of different things instead. So say a friend of mine I know, when training to do a very long hike, would do squats every time he went for a pee, things like that. Other things you can do, just sort of jogging or pacing on the spot while you're having a cigarette, or putting something in the microwave, or cooking, or brushing your teeth. Anything like that is good. I can't think of anything else right now. If I do, there will be more of these. Anyway. So yeah, those are my helpful hints for doing exercise while at home, while still remaining true to your inner dark gothy self. She says wearing rainbow colours, but anyway, yeah, these are my tips. Let me know if you have any online favourite exercise videos or anything of that ilk in the comments, because I'm always looking for more moving things rather than just watching Star Trek and jogging. And let me know how your coronavirus apocalypse is going. We have not quite got to the stage of bartering for toilet roll, but some of my friends have. Literally trading goods for toilet roll. That's the state that we're in. I hope you're all okay and none of you have gone completely crazy, and that none of you have gotten the plague. I've managed to escape it so far, but it's quite scary, so big hugs and all of that, and I will see you soon. I will hopefully be making some more videos soon, especially since there's nothing much else to do, so yeah, see you shortly. Bye bye. Bye bye.